Hey, here for day two. Um, so here is the new UI shot that I'm working on, and the person who created this, I will have them tagged down in the description. Because I did not come up with this style, someone else did. I am simply using it as a learning tool. So I want to give credit where credit is due. Um, Also, something interesting about this. So yesterday I was working on a laptop layout. Today we're working on a mobile layout. Um, and I know that Figma has like these UI um, little shots and things like that you can use to get like the device, what it looks like. There's also some that like just have, the little bar up at the top with the camera and all of that in there, that you can use. But this one just has a very basic little thing here. So I'm going to follow this and not worry about grabbing like the standard UI things. So this one is pretty straightforward. We've got like a light mode and a dark mode going on. I'm going to first do the light mode, and then I will duplicate that and turn it into the dark mode. The one thing that I don't really know how to do, and so I'll have to, maybe take a little bit of time, is how to get this overlay here that allows for like the look of like scrolling. But we will look at that when we get there. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go grab this color, and then so most of this is really like lines and text, not much else to this design. So this should go really quick, and if it doesn't, then I might want to reevaluate how I'm doing things. But that's kind of what this moment is for, is to be able to evaluate things. So no, it's not that. I know this is a super, yeah, that actually looks pretty close. It's a pretty popular style right now, Roboto. So let me scale this up a little bit. There we go. Now we're looking at basically the same size. So that'll help me get this scale. So if you press the letter K, no additional buttons, just the letter K, it'll take you into scale mode, so then you can bring it up without having to do like a bunch of other stuff to scale it. Then if you press V, it takes you back to your normal mode that you are looking for. So now, not much bigger. We'll call it 16, and maybe medium. Yeah, that looks probably close. So this is a little battery icon. Go back to my Iconify and see if I've got a battery. I should. Here we go. We'll just use this one because it matches my other one. I'm going to import as a frame. And that'll go here. The one thing I don't like about this color is that it is the same as like my line. So I think I'm actually going to change this momentarily to maybe like a blue. That's so bright. Darken that a little bit. Right there should be good. That way I can see my lines a little bit better. And then we have this little circle square thing. Corner radius. Take it up to 40. Why it did that. It didn't go into my frame, but that's okay. All right. And now I'm gonna give this a weight of 2. Yeah, that probably looks right. Duplicate that and bring it here. Alright, I don't know why I can't get off of. Cheating a little bit, but you know. Alright, one thing I want to check is that these are the same length or the same distance from my sides, and they are not. This one needs to be a little bit longer. And I'm going to do that over here. More. There we go. Alright. Change all of these to black. And I need my little search indicator, so come back up here again to iconify and search. actually, I have a search over here. I'm just going to use the same one. It does need to be a little bit smaller. So we'll try 22, see what that looks like. They have this. Okay. One thing that I've heard from various designers is that they tend to follow like a 4 pattern in between their elements. So this is now at 16 between these two, but I'm going to take it down to, let's see what 8 looks like. So they'll either do like 4, 8, 12, 16, like they kind of standardize their spacing. Yeah, that's pretty close. I think this... I think it kind of throws off the design. So I'm actually going to change course here. I need something shorter. Here we go. Something like this. There we go. All right, text. Needs to be a little bit bigger than... There we go. I was like, why is my eye so small? One thing that's cool, so there's a couple ways to do this. So if you're like working with text and you need to shrink your box here so that it hugs it, you can come over to the side here and double tap it and it'll bring it back down. I think there's a... I'm not sure. I have to get comfortable with this again. I haven't used it a whole lot super recently to be able to know for sure. But there used to be like a little button you could click over here. I think there still is. I just don't know where it is. But that's okay. All right. So I'm going to duplicate that and bring it down, and it goes, I had 25 and 25, so that is good. Looks like they're using an M dash, and I'm not entirely sure how to make that happen in Figma. I know how to make it happen in Word documents and such. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry too much about it because it feels like a very inconsequential thing. It's definitely less bold, and I don't think it's any smaller. I think it's just not as bold. Like 26. All right, and go ahead and change these to black. All right. Now I have my big number, which back to GPT. I was gonna try and do it with my, well, all right. Option, Shift, and 8. Alright, so Option, Shift, 8 should give me a degree symbol, and it did. So now I want to highlight this and make it much, much bigger. Looks like even bigger. And I want it to be super, super bold. Okay, well the 3 looks exactly the same. The 7 is different, so that's interesting. Let me see what these look like. What is this called? Rethink Sans. W is completely different, but it's okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to give and take on some of these. So this is set to 200. It could probably be bigger. We'll do 220. $230. Here we go. This feels like it pretty much takes up this area here in the center. Like it's pretty well. Let's check it. Yeah. Which I think that's what this is going for too, so. Alright. Duplicate this now, and this is going to say I'll make sure that I select the right one. Floor is lava. And we've got Option Shift 8 gives me degrees. 29 Option, oops, that's Command. Option Shift 8, and that will go over here, lined up with these guys. Wind 14 km per hour, and this is gonna be smaller. We're looking at, yeah, I think 16 is probably good, and it is a little less bold. Alright, and I'm gonna duplicate that, pull this over here so that it is lined up. And I got two lines there, so let me make sure. And we've got precipitation. Oops. 0%. Okay, now let's line that up again. All right. So now we have, this says hourly. I'm going to duplicate this line here. Right, and then so I'm going to put 13. Here, this is 6 p.m. Clear. I think this is just a little dot, kind of showing like something in between here. Mm. 0%. I'm gonna actually make that like an actual like circle thing. And then this will be 37, Option Shift 8. Alright, and now I'm gonna put these in their places. I'm kind of using like where these are, where they kind of line up with these words to determine my spacing for them. It does look like I need to make these smaller. Let's do 16. I think 16 is probably fine. 16, 16, and then I'm gonna use a frame here with the fill. The fill is gonna be black. We're gonna take the corner radius all the way up. So it turns it into a circle, and then I'm going to, we'll do 14. Even smaller. Honestly, even smaller. Let's try 9. Okay, and then get this lined up with those guys, not like that. I think this actually needs to be even smaller. There we go. That looks a little closer to it. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take all of these and I'm actually going to group them together. Control G. And then I'm going to duplicate this and bring it down. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Alright, so now I've got in here, this is 9 p.m. These all stay the same, and this becomes 33. This one becomes 12 a.m. And this becomes 32. And then this is where it starts to kind of disappear. But I can, we've got 6, 9, 12, so this is probably 3 a.m. we'll say, and we'll put this at 30, and then we'll say that this is 6 a.m. and we'll put this at 29. Okay, so there's that. The only thing I have not done is create this overlay thing, and I think I know how to do that. Let me grab a shape here. So I've got my rectangle, and we're really going to start it here-ish and bring this down. All right, and I want to make sure that it takes up the whole width of my thing. We're gonna do an effect, but I want to get rid of this fill. Don't want to get rid of the fill. Background blur. Well, it's certainly not exact. But I think it's pretty close. And I think I'm happy with it. So let's go ahead and change this background to my red. Oh, that's what I did. So if you come to fill and you change this color, it's only going to change that. So now I have like this weird blue blur thing down at the bottom. But if you come down to selection colors and where I have my blue, which is where I meant to be in the first place, and I change it to my red, then it's going to change this whole thing. So now I have one nice red thing that looks pretty much exactly like that. Bring this back, and I'm going to duplicate this and bring it down, and now do this one. So again, I have my selection colors. One thing I want to be careful of, if I change this now to black, everything in here would be black, and I would have to go in and select all of my individual elements. So I want to make sure that I change my black to white first. And then I can come in here to my red and change it to black. And that way... Now the one thing that's different here is this guy, they didn't change. So to match, we're just going to do that. Which is probably pretty accurate to how like an actual phone would look. So now this is 19. And see, this 1 and 9 are completely different. Goodness. And another difference we have here is this has a little location indicator. This one did not. I'm not sure why that's different, but it is. So I am going to try and stay true to that. Cape Town. This is the same. Clear night sky. We've got 20 to 15. Winds at 10. Here we have 7 p.m. and 19. We've got 10 p.m. 17. 1 a.m. Oh, and this got changed to cloudy. And this to 14. And the other ones I'm just gonna leave because you can't see them. And there we go. That's done. Awesome. And look, a little less time than it took me to do this one. Much less complicated for sure. Things that I pretty much already knew how to do, how to do, except for the blur. Hope that was helpful for somebody. I will see you tomorrow.